Once upon a time, there was a very old king who did not want to die without first seeing his own merit. For this reason, he organized many parties in the palace, to which he invited beautiful young women from the kingdom. However, none of them were to the princess' liking. One morning, the king told the prince that in a short time he should marry a wife who would love him, help him, and bear him children. He asked him to please go find a wife. The prince, meditative, left the palace and came to a forest where he found an orange tree with three oranges. The young man was attracted by the fruits, and that is why he picked them up and kept them for himself. Soon after, he became thirsty, so he split an orange, and to his astonishment, a beautiful young blonde appeared before him and asked him for water, but the young prince did not have it, so she disappeared. After a while, he took out another orange. He cut it, and a beautiful redhead came out, who also asked him for water. But the same thing happened as before. The young woman left because the prince had no water. The prince was very tired, about to faint, but he came to a spring. He drank water, and since he was so hungry, he took out the last orange. He cut it, and a dark-haired young woman appeared and asked him for water. The prince took water and gave it to her to drink. Right at the moment, the witch spell that had imprisoned her in the orange was broken. Very little time passed until the prince married her. They were in love and soon they became kings and lived happily in the palace, until one day the witch heard that the young woman had broken her spell. So the old witch, she posed as a hairpin seller and went to the palace. The young queen, who was very trusting, asked her to sell her a hairpin, and the witch took advantage of the moment to stick a pin with a white bird into her head, and instantly the queen turned into a white dove and flew off into the forest. There she found the king, who had gone hunting, and since the young man did not know anything, he picked up the dove to give it to his beloved wife. Already in the palace he looked for her, but no one had seen her leave it. So the young king waited and waited very sadly for her, but her wife did not return, and he only had the company of the dove. One day, the young king caressing the dove, he could see that it had a pin with a white bird stuck in its head, and as he felt sorry for the poor animal, he took it very slowly. In this way, it was like the king broke the witch spell again, and before his eyes he could see how his beautiful wife looked like, who told him what had happened. So he ordered his soldiers to go out looking for the witch and take her to the palace. But it was not possible because when the soldiers arrived at her hiding place, the old witch was on fire. And that was how the king and queen lived happily ever after.